So I failed my GCSEs and I still became a millionaire. How? How did I do it? Bearing in mind these are D's, E's, F's, all the way through, failed them, but I still found a way to become successful. See you later. I do think most of us wear some sort of mask at some degree. We're not truly ourselves and we're afraid to be ourselves. So then you don't actually become you just become a reflection of whoever you're around. But deep down, you're not truly authentically yourself. And that holds us back. And one of the main reasons that holds us back is because you're never really aligned to your true core values and you become an embarrassed version of who you truly are. So then you wear this mask, and this mask is for the rest of the world. But when you're by yourself and you're you and no one else is around you, that is when the true you is actually present. But then you lack the confidence to really be who you are because you believe that in some way, shape or form, maybe people won't accept you or you will be judged. But the more that you think like this and the more doubt that you have around this, you'll never really be you, and you will just live this life where you're just not yourself. You're just trying to fit in all the time. And there's no confidence attached to someone who is trying to fit in. Believe you me. I'm going to tell you in a very short sentence as to whether you're going to win or lose in life. You're either a winner or a loser. You either have one of these mentalities. What if I put in all of the hours and all of the work and all of the time and I still don't succeed? That is a loser's mindset. A winner, it doesn't even contemplate that. A winner still has the same struggle, still has the same adversity to overcome as a loser. The only difference is the winner doesn't even process that as an option. They don't even imagine a scenario that they will put in the hours and they put in the work and they won't succeed. And that is the difference right there. So if you have this mentality and this mindset that I've been working hard for years, maybe you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're a business person, you're starting your first business, maybe you're someone who's just started learning to trade, or you've been on this journey of trading for quite a few years, and you're still having these thoughts year in, year out. What if I put in all the hours and I don't succeed? That already shows you you're not aligned. You're not aligned with how to think and behave like a winner. Listen, I didn't do well at school. I wasn't academic. I failed my GCSEs and I still became a fucking millionaire. Like, it was genuinely that bad. In my last year of school, I had about 15 or 20% attendance. It was so bad. And one of the main reasons for that was I had so much stress at home. My dad's health was going downhill. I didn't have any other option but to deal with the situation as it was. And I was missing so much school. I was so isolated from just people and my friends, everything. So much isolation. I would be on the bus going to school about an hour away, and I would be on a bus full of old people. Nothing against old people, but when you're 14, 15 years old and you recognize no one is in school uniform and you're just on the bus going to school thinking, what is going on? What am I doing here? And I was emotionally exhausted of having to deal with this at such a young age. And I've not gone into the depths of it, but it shaped me to who I am. It made me who I am. That's why I'm talking about this. You are not authentically yourself. And I believe I tapped into that when I was about 14, 15 because of the solitude, because of the isolation. There was so much pressure. I had no other option but to just be myself and not give a shit what anyone else thinks, because there was too much extremes that I wasn't going to fit in. Imagine having that much stress that your level of care to worrying about whether you fit in or not just goes out the window. And then you start becoming you. Because when you're not you, you're just everybody else, and it chips away at you. And when it chips away at your character, you have no confidence. No wonder you have no confidence. No wonder you don't believe that you'll succeed. You're not even you. Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. You don't have to have the exact same interests as everybody else to be around the right people. When you're around the right people, they'll build you up. When you're around the right people, they will celebrate you for your own quirks, for your own interests. I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm one of the very, very few within my friendship group. I think maybe 2 other people that I know that support Liverpool, and the rest of them Spurs. Spurs, who wants to support Spurs? But you know what I mean, some people are, they're a bit loopy, so they do these things. The same people that enjoy running. Who enjoys running? Psychopaths. But you can still have that camaraderie, you can still have that great brotherhood, you can still have that great circle that You know you're being yourself and you're around incredible people that will build you up because of it, not because you don't have the exact same interest as everybody else. And I think a lot of people, especially men, they will spend their whole life just trying to fit in, mold around everything. They're never truly themselves. So no wonder they lack confidence, they lack character. And in that last year of school where I barely went to school, I had a lot of time to think, a lot of solitude, a lot of time to just dwell on who I want to become. You know, it was almost like a crash course of like, look, this is it. You know, and then I felt isolated from all the people at school. You know, I used to play basketball, football, and I just kind of stepped back from that. I had no interest. I almost lost the desire to do all of that because I was trying to process things emotionally as to what is going on here. Am I going to, you know, lose my dad and all kinds of other stress that the average 14, 15-year-old probably wasn't dealing with. And I'm very fortunate. I had incredible, and I still have incredible childhood friends I grew up with that we all had each other's back and we all pushed each other. We all had, you know, through and through all the thick of it. And I think that's so important. So if you spend a lot of your life not unapologetically being yourself, it will chip away at you and it will hold you back from succeeding. It will hold you back from, dare I say it, being the happiest that you could be. Now, I don't like to use happiness as a metric or an index to measure life because some things are what they are. However, I do think there is a quality of life that you could tap into if you learn how to just be yourself. Where are you not being yourself? What part of your life, what character are you playing? Which is the character, it's not truly you, it's a mask that you have on right now that's holding you back from being the person you could be. Where is this happening? What scenarios are you still playing this role and this character? And then when you start to write it down, you might find that 50% of your week, 60% of your day-to-day stuff, you're not even being you. How are you going to build your empire when you can't even be yourself without worrying about what other people think? Who gives a shit what other people think? If you're a good person, you have good values, but you've got your own quirks, your own personality, great, people will accept you for who you are. People respect that so much more. So all this is a pain story. It's just me using pain and converting that fuel into something positive. I'll tell you a pain story that I used as fuel. Let me know what your pain stories are. What have you used right now to get you out of a situation where, whether it's short-term motivation or it turned into something even better than that, let me know. One for me was when I found out, and I found this out like 17, 18 years old, that we didn't have much money for food growing up. We didn't come from the best situations. But I remember my sister told me that we used to have to put food back. And there's a place called Morrison's now. It used to be called Safeways in the UK. I think I've shared this story before. And we used to have to put food back. Mum used to be really upset. And a lot of times when it came anywhere close to £10, they would have to just put things back. And I was like, 3 years old, like in a pushchair, pram, etc. 3, 4 years old. And then maybe even younger, but whatever. That was a pain story, and it was almost like I was angry and frustrated that I found that out too late because I couldn't turn the clocks back. It was almost you're being told a story of pain that your family had to go through, but then you was too young to affect it or do anything about it. I was thinking, well, it just lit a fire inside of me that I never want my family to ever go through anything like that again. So often those times that, doubt can creep in, and I'm not talking about the doubt of thinking, what if I put in all this time and I won't win? I never thought that, but just general hardship and adversity and things when tough, and if things when times were tough and you was just going through one of those streaks that things just went bad for a period of time and longer than you'd think. I used to use that pain of, well, what if, on the flip side of that, what if 10 years go by and I knew about that story and I knew how difficult we had it and I still done nothing about it and I lost on a stupid metric like just not working hard enough or just not having enough patience. I refused to lose on the most bullshit metrics like, oh, I didn't realize it would take this long. Fuck that. I remember thinking I'm going to do whatever it takes to get my family in a good position that one day I can tell the story. I didn't know I'd be telling it here or to my friends that you know where I came from. I did not let it define me. I was myself all the way through. And when I tapped into that energy of just being me and building myself up and being around other people that celebrate that and also build me up, and I build them up as well, it creates an unstoppable person. You genuinely can achieve anything that you put your mind to. As cliche as it may sound, a lot of the time you're not where you want to be, you have no plan, you have no support network. All of the key important ingredients that actually makes dreams turn into reality that you're lacking them. That's all it is. And it doesn't matter where your starting point is. Your starting point can be something really, really small. You just have to start. But a lot of the time you're procrastinating. You're procrastinating on something that could build you a future. Maybe some of you right now are watching this thinking, oh, I'd love the idea of earning a second income. I would love the idea of trading, yet you never start. Or even if you have started, you don't actually truly commit. You're just dabbling. If you're going to dabble through life, that's what you'll get. I come from a council estate. I know exactly what it feels like to be you, same struggles, the fears and the uncertainty. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But you start small, one step forward, incremental growth. One day you'll wake up and you'll be exactly where you're supposed to be.